Alright, so 39 we have secant of pi. So here you have the angle pi. I wrote it as its definition, so secant is r over x. I also wrote it as 1 over cosine pi. And we know cosine pi is -1, so then that gives us -1. 42 is cosecant of 0. Again, I wrote it as, first I drew the angle, which is 0. The coordinates are 1, 0. Definition of cosecant is r over y. I also wrote it as 1 over sine 0, and sine of 0 is 0, so 1 over 0 is undefined. Number 45, cotangent of pi. Again, here's the angle, pi units, or radians. Coordinates are -1, 0 right here at pi. Definition of cotangent is x over y. I also wrote it as 1 over tangent pi. Tangent pi we know is 0, and so 1 over 0 is undefined. If you look at the ratio x over y, -1 over 0 is undefined. So either one you get undefined. So 48, they want you to, for the next few problems, we're going to draw the angle theta, and then its reference angle, we're going to label it theta prime, and find the measurement, okay, of the reference angle. So here is, in red, the 225 degrees. And so since it's quadrant 3, we do the theta minus 180 to get this measurement right here. So this is my reference angle. So that's going to be 45 degrees. Alright, so instead of doing all the converting it to a positive angle, a coterminal angle with -45, I just went ahead and drew the -45 degree angle, which is right here, the one in red. And again, this is also the coterminal, the reference angle right here. So it's 45 degrees. And that's it. Alright, so 54, here's angle theta, which is 3 pi over 4. And the reference angle would be this one right here. Well, if this is 3/4, then we know that this is 1/4, right? Because this straight line is pi. So 3/4, 1/4. So the reference angle is pi over 4. So 57, here's angle 11 pi over 6. Here's the reference angle, and I know it's pi over 6, but just to show you how you would calculate it, it's 2 pi minus 11 pi over 6. So that gives you pi over 6. Here's angle 322, again the outside angle, and we're looking for that measurement. So it's going to be 360 minus 322, so that's going to give us 38 degrees for our reference angle. Okay, so -11 pi over 5 would be the one, again, the red one or orange one. So you go across, you go this way, negative direction, and then you stop about here. And so there's the angle for -11 pi over 5. Now we're looking for the reference angle, which is the blue angle. Okay, now we have -2 and 1/5 pi. So that just means that we did 2 pi, and then we went 1/5 pi more, right? The 1/5 pi. So that's your reference angle, because that's this measurement right here. So that's how I do the problem. Now you could do what it says in the book. So it's just pi over 5, where you would add, I guess in this case you would add 4 pi to get a positive angle, and then subtract 2 pi from it or something, or to get this measurement right here. Okay, but I think it's easier if you just look at the graph, and from the graph you figure out what this measurement is. Okay, and basically I just took this 1/5 pi, and that's what this is. Alright, for 66 you have the angle -6.5. Now notice it does not have a degree, so then we know that this is a radian. Remember 2 pi, it's a complete rotation, and it's approximately 6.28. So -6.5 is more than one rotation. It's a little bit more, so we went around -6.28 and a little bit more to get to 6.5, -6.5. So basically all we want is this angle, right? I I have here on the screen two methods. This is the way the book shows you how to get the answer, and this is the way I do it by looking at the drawing, okay, and just figuring out what I need to add or subtract to get the answer. Notice it's the same answer, right? So what the book has you do, it has you add 2 pi to this number until you get a positive number. So in this case, we had to add 4 pi because we had to add 2 pi twice to get a positive number. So that's a positive angle. That would be the orange angle up to here. Then once you have that answer, then you use a rule for an angle in quadrant 4, which is 2 pi minus the angle, minus theta, minus the outside right here. And that gives you that answer. The way I do it, I just say, okay, I know I went past the 2 pi, just a little bit more. How much more? Well, I take the absolute value of the angle, so it's 6.5, minus the 2 pi to see how much more I passed the full rotation, and this is what I get. Same answer. You choose whichever method you want to use for reference angle. So for 69, I went ahead and I drew angle negative 750. So that means that I went around the circle twice. So this is negative 360, negative 720, and then how much more to get to 750? 30 more. So my reference angle is 30. So if you're using that chart, you would look at angle 30. Okay? Like I tell you guys in class, I just go to the unit circle and oops, I got a sign. I missed the negative right here. And just write the coordinates down for the angle. In this case, it would be 330, right? 330 degrees. So sine of negative 750 is negative 1/2 because that's my y. Cosine of negative 750 is radical 3 over 2 because that's my x. And tangent of negative 750 is negative 1 over radical 3, which is negative radical 3 over 3. Oops, over 3. There. So for number 72, I drew the angle. So there it is, 3 pi over 4. The reference angle is pi over 4, so that's the one you would use on the chart. For me, I use the ordered pair on the unit circle, so it's negative radical 2 over 2, positive radical 2 over 2. So the sine of 3 pi over 4 is the y-coordinate. The cosine of 3 pi over 4 is the x-coordinate. And the tangent of 3 pi over 2 is this number over this number, which when you put them together, you get negative 1. Number 75, I changed it to a mixed number. So that becomes 11 pi over 4 becomes 2 3/4 pi. So it's one rotation, 2 pi, and then 3/4 more. So just by coincidence, it happens to land in the same exact place as number 72. So the answers for 75 are the same as the ones for 72. So I won't even rewrite it again. It's the same answers. So for negative 20 pi over 3, again, change it to a mixed number. You get negative 6 2/3 pi. So there's negative 2, 4, 6, and 2/3 pi more would be about here. So there's the angle. Stops right there. So this is at 4 pi over 3. Like this angle, if you use a unit circle, it's the same as 4 pi over 3. If you need the reference angle so that you can use the chart, it would be this angle right here, which would be pi over 3 if you're using the chart. Okay? But again, I just go and use the unit circle. So this is negative 1/2 negative radical 3 over 2. These are the coordinates for that angle, for negative 20 pi over 3. So sine of negative 20 pi over 3 is negative radical 3 over 2. Cosine of negative 20 pi over 3 is negative 1/2. And tangent of negative 20 pi over 3 is radical 3. Alright, so in 87 they give you two pieces of information that tangent theta is negative 4 and that cosine theta is less than 0, that it's negative. Well, tangent is negative in quadrants 2 and 4 and cosine is negative in quadrants 2 and 3. So then this tells me the two dots are in quadrant 2, so this tells me that the angle is in quadrant 2. Okay, so there's the angle. So you draw vertical to the x-axis, and because tangent is y over x, the y is 4, the x is 1. Now it's negative, right? And so the 1 takes on the negative because it's in quadrant 2. So this is 4, and this is negative 1. The radius is 4 squared plus negative 1 squared, so 16 plus 1, 17. So this would be square root of 17, the r. So sine is y over r. So 4 over radical 17. When you rationalize, you get 4 radical 17 over 17. Cosine is x over r, so it's negative 1 over radical 17, which equals negative radical 17 over 17. Negative 4 was given to you. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine, so it's going to be radical 17 over 4. Secant is reciprocal of cosine, radical 17 over negative 1, which is just negative, right? I don't need the 1. And the reciprocal of negative 4 is negative 1/4. 90 is similar to 87. You have secant of theta equal to negative 4/3. Now remember, secant is the reciprocal of cosine, so it's r over x. Okay. Well, first off, let's figure out what quadrant, right? So where is secant negative? Where is cosine negative? It's going to be here and here. And then where is cotangent positive? It's going to be here and here. So then the angle is in quadrant 3. So here's the angle. There. So we have to draw a perpendicular to the x-axis. R is always positive, so that's going to be 4. And that means x is negative 3. We use Pythagorean theorem, 16, that's the r squared, minus 9 is 7. So this would be negative radical 7, right there. Okay, so now we're going to do, we have all the numbers that we need, 7, 9. Okay, sine is y over r, so negative radical 7 over 4. Cosine is x over r, negative 3 over 4. Okay, and tangent is y over x, so it's negative radical 7 over negative 3, so that's positive. Okay, secant, I just noticed I wrote them like I didn't write them as I usually write them, so those are, I connected the reciprocals. Cosecant, I'm probably going to need a little bit of room, so I'm going to put the answer right here. Cosecant is negative 4 over radical 7, which is negative 4 radical 7 over 7 after you rationalize. And then cotangent, I'll just put the answer right here, is 3 over radical 7, which is 3 radical 7 over 7 after you rationalize. Okay, so these are the answers. Okay, so 93 through 102 are all calculator problems, so I have the answers here. Just remember that on these two you're in degree, and on these two you're on radian. Remember reciprocal functions, you could put it in as 1 over cosine, or just do the cosine and then at the end do the 1 over x. Same thing with this one. Okay, so those are the answers. Okay, so for the last two problems we're using the unit circle, and for this one, the cosecant, I am thinking of sine theta, that its reciprocal is radical 3 over 2. So all of these I'm just thinking of the reciprocals. Okay, so now sine theta being radical 3 over 2 in quadrant 1 would be a 30-degree angle and a 150. Take it back, I made a mistake. I was trying to rush through it, but it's actually 60 degree and 120, so it's pi over 3 and 2 pi over 3. So here are the answers for the other ones. Whoops. Right here and right here. And then tangent 1 is 45 and 225, pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, and then secant